Right, so back again on our little series on bills, and this time we're just going to look at how to add the bank details for a supplier. Obviously, if we had those details to hand when we were creating the supplier, we'd add them at that point in time, but very often that's not the case, and so it's simply just a matter of going back in and editing our supplier details. So clicking up here on contacts in our menu, probably easiest to sort by suppliers rather than sifting through all the customers, and just picking one of your suppliers and updating their details. So I'm just going to click on Bayside Club, and you can see there's all this sort of summary information here about our particular supplier, and if we scroll down we'll see down here the financial details. So I can actually see for Bayside Club that the financial details are in there, their ABN, the default tax codes that we're going to use when we invoice them or when we receive a bill from them, and also their bank account details. So they've actually been added. So it's also a quick way that we can go in and see who we have the financial details for and who we don't. So obviously we don't want to update Bayside Club, but we do want to update Heritage Trust, who don't have a great deal of detail in there at all. And these guys, you can see contact details are minimal, financial details are nothing as well. So clicking on edit, our supplier information screen comes up. Scrolling down to the bottom where it says financial details, we can then put defaults in here for when we enter bills for these guys. The defaults being, is the bill going to be tax inclusive or not? If we know what we're buying or paying to these particular people, we can allocate it to a particular account. So Heritage Trust, who knows, it could be for purchases, it could be for advertising, but we can pop a default code in there. Their ABN number, default for sales, but what I'm most interested in for today is the bank account details for when we want to make batch payments. And so we put the bank account number, the bank account name, and any details. Now if you're not sure when you come back to doing this, there's a little question mark here which if we click on that tells us what can go into each field. So the bank account details are obviously for our reference if we make batch payments. In the bank account number field, so this field here, we enter both the BSB and the full bank account number. No hyphens, no spaces, doesn't matter, just the complete set of numbers. So here in Australia, your 6-digit BSB and then the bank account number immediately following that, no spaces, no hyphens. Where it says bank account name, NAB, CBA, whatever the bank is, and then any details that you might want to pop into this details field. So 063333, bank account might be 456789, bank account name CBA, accounts payable I could put or something like that, and save. That way when we go to do a batch payment, which will be on the next screen, we've got the bank details in there. Now don't panic if you don't pop them in there and you're doing a batch payment and you sort of realise that you've forgotten to update that. We actually have an option when we do our batch payments on a particular screen to enter it as we go, and then it will be saved to that supplier's details anyway. But now we can actually see that information that I've entered now all sits here under this financial details. So that's it for now. Shortly we'll be looking at the batch payments screen. Bye for now.